Hello, my name is Tyler Adams, and I'm a software engineering major here at UNC, and I'm here to introduce JLT Studios. JLT Studios is the name of the team that we put together to create our final project. We got the name just by taking the first letter of each of the team members' names, Javier, Lauren, and Tyler. To create Tap That Dot, our team ended up using several different programs, mainly Unity, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, FL Studio, and Visual Studio 2019. Tap That Dot is a bit of a personalized take on the already pretty famous game Pop the Lock. Plenty of versions of it are available on the market already. Each of them has their own features. So while this might not be the most original idea, we aimed to make our mobile game unique through unique background colors, homemade music and sounds, with our final aim being to just make the game a pleasant experience for the user. During this project, my main responsibilities were coding, debugging, quality assurance, and contact with our stakeholder, Dr. Mustofi. I handled a lot of the main gameplay sections for Tap That Dot, and I was responsible for the status and the timer system. I'm also the guy who edited and put together this video for you. Let's hear from my two team members.
My name is Javier Perez, and I'm a software engineering major. I had multiple responsibilities with different roles throughout this project. I created the art used in the project, including the menus, buttons, and logos for the team. I also animated the menu. I created the background music that you're listening to right now in FL Studio. I also coded multiple components for Tap That Dot, including level selection, level saving, and refactor some of the code.
Hi, my name is Lauren Sims and I am a software engineering major. During this project, I took on the roles of scheduler and I was responsible for doing most of the assignments. I had help from Javier and Tyler with the screenshots, but I wrote the requirement explanations and organized all of the documents. My favorite part of the project was the fact that we were making an app. This is something we could potentially put on the App Store, and I think that is a really neat skill to have.
The single biggest bug we ran into with Tap the Dot is a rather weird issue that we're still not sure the exact cause of. The first click of the game would without fail be 2 clicks in a row every time. This was a really big problem because it caused the game to call a lose event immediately after starting due to the second click not happening over a dot. After multiple hours of both Javier and myself searching through the code and progress being ground to a crawl for over a week, I decided to give up on finding the bug and started to develop a workaround. That workaround is the timer system I mentioned earlier. Initially, our plan was for the game to start as soon as the first tap happened, but now in our final version that tap starts a 3-second countdown, after which the game starts. During this countdown, any and all clicks are ignored, meaning that the pesky double click had no effect overall. In the end, I actually feel like this countdown and the status system in general improved the game, and I'm pretty proud with how it turned out.
The part I am most proud of is the way I solved the level saving requirement. Such a requirement stated, the system should be able to store the level that the user is on. In order to solve this requirement, I created a unique class that writes to a text file and also can read from it. The methods in this class write to a text file and write the information for later use. I later reused one of the methods to save whether the user wanted the whole level muted or not. I used encapsulation in order to create such objects and adjusted the methods to work accordingly to the settings inside the text file. This text file became essential later on the project since each scene of the project had unique settings.
Throughout the development of the game, we realized that the system requirements needed for Unity were just not being met by the UNC public computers. Unity actually requires a decent amount of strength to run very nicely, and it would continuously lag and crash on the UNC computers. There was also the matter of it being a quite large download. Having to download it every time onto a new public computer just wasn't working out. We decided to work around this by using our own personal computers with Unity, but that ran into the issue of being able to collaborate. We ended up using SourceTree for our collaboration, and also to implement source control. That helped a lot with sharing the newest version of the software without losing anything important, but it wasn't exactly a perfect solution. SourceTree was sometimes unreliable. When it wasn't crashing or locking up, it would sometimes not allow pushing or pulling due to what it perceived as an updated or missing file. Ultimately, it was better than nothing. For future projects, we'll verify that we actually have the required technology to be able to collaborate easily. About halfway through the project, we realized that we should have implemented proper testing into our development cycle. As mentioned before, we had an extremely troublesome bug that we ultimately couldn't track down the source of. We don't believe this would have happened if we'd used proper testing throughout the development cycle. and we're thinking about trying to use test-driven development in future projects. Our future goals for this project haven't really been decided yet. Our original intent was an idea to publish the game on both the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, but the game needs improvements in order to be competitive enough in the market. Improvements we could do are more levels, more music, more unique backgrounds, and with those it might be able to compete with other apps. We had originally considered a store system with cosmetics, like different locks, maybe some funny hats, that you could purchase with points that would be randomly obtained during gameplay. It was ultimately scrapped, but it could be added back later in order to make it more unique. All in all, developing Tap That Dot was a valuable learning experience for our entire team. We got the opportunity to work together as a group and try our hand at professionally developing an application. We'll all take forward what we've learned from this into our professions in the future.